will be recorded, then put on the Oak Grove website for families who aren't able to attend. So, great. And now, Devin, I can take over presenting, right?
Yes, you can.
So, okay, great. Thank you. So to do that, I will not be able to see the chat. So throughout this entire presentation, if you have any questions, by all means, interrupt me and jump in, or you can post them in the chat. And any Oak Grove staff who sees a question, if they could just read it at an appropriate time, and we'll make sure to answer it. So, and there'll of course be plenty of time at the end as well for questions. But I also, if it's a timely one right in the middle, please by all means jump in. So again, welcome. This is Oak Grove Elementary's kindergarten welcome night, our first time ever doing it remotely like this. So we'll give it our best. Thanks for your flexibility and patience and willingness to do it with us this way. Know that there will be opportunities, especially in the fall before school starts, to come into the building, to see and meet the teachers and myself and see the classrooms and help your child get a physical and visual understanding of what their experience is going to be before the first day of school. So I'll talk about that later in the presentation. First, we're going to start out with a message from our superintendent, Les Fujitaki.
Good evening. I am Superintendent Les Fujitaki. On behalf of our entire school community, it is my pleasure to welcome you and your child to kindergarten in Bloomington Public Schools. Kindergarten is an exciting step in your child's school journey. Our sole focus is inspiring, challenging, and supporting students as they learn and grow. We know that strong relationships with our families help students have the best possible learning experience at school and at home. We look forward to partnering with you to help your child achieve their hopes and dreams. Thank you for taking the time this evening to hear from your school staff and to learn more about registering for kindergarten. We appreciate you choosing Bloomington Public Schools.
So the way this presentation is going to work, we're going to go.
Good evening.
Oh, sorry. We're going to go kind of big and then small. So I'll start talking about our district as a whole, and then we'll start narrowing it down to more specifics about Oak Grove Elementary. So first, I want to welcome every family to our kindergarten night. Oh, excuse me. And welcome to Bloomington Public Schools, especially if you're new and this is your first venture in. Kindergarten is an exciting step in your child's school journey, and we are dedicated to challenging, inspiring, and supporting all learners to achieve their hopes and dreams and thrive in a rapidly changing world. That's our Bloomington mission statement. We believe that strong school-family partnerships are vital to our students' success, and thank you for making the time today to join us for our virtual kickoff to kindergarten. And we look forward to getting to know you all. So I'm going to view this way. Now, know that it might be weird for me to say this as hopefully your principal coming into kindergarten, but we always want to make sure you know that there are kindergarten options for you as a Bloomington family. That we pride ourselves on having neighborhood schools. So our 10 elementary schools offer a positive, inclusive, caring environment where children love to learn. Our kindergarten and first grade class sizes are among the lowest of our neighboring districts. This year, for example, our class sizes in kindergarten sit at about 20 students per classroom. So of the 10 elementaries, Oak Grove, we're kind of geographically and demographically right in the middle, and I'll talk more about that a little later. But also know, starting this year, we have Bloomington Online School. It's our fully online school that offers curriculum aligned with Bloomington Public Schools and Minnesota State standards, and it's taught by Bloomington Public School teachers. We have one of our own over there teaching that this year. And it's designed to meet the same high levels of academic rigor as traditional school. So if you're looking for an online full-time school option, Bloomington has that for you. We also have a community school, which is called Hillcrest. So Hillcrest Community School is a nationally recognized artful learning school that welcomes students from throughout the Bloomington community. The students are selected from a lottery applicant pool. Free bus transportation is available for any Bloomington residents attending Hillcrest Community School. So that's a school really, if you're looking for a more artful, art-based learning. They're obviously going to still have math, social studies, science, reading, and all of that, but their focus is also on the arts. There are computer science immersion programs at 2 of our buildings, at Indian Mounds and Poplar Bridge Elementary, that is grounded in weekly computer science lessons that are co-taught by a specialist and the classroom teacher. The teachers there use innovative instruction to develop computational thinking skills using the best of computer science education in other subjects like science, reading, writing, social studies, and math. So those are very typical schools to Oak Grove, but they're just going to have a little extra emphasis on computer science. If you're here, I think that means you've maybe looked to see that Oak Grove is your attendance area. So this is us down here in the green. This is on the district site where you can find it with this link right here. But this is where we pull from. So we kind of are on the west side of our attendance area, and we pull students all around us, including around Moyer Park. And then we pull east of us, so east of the highway, that direction. Families do have an opportunity to open enroll to schools if they're not in the attendance area of that school, but that starts with a process of going to your home school first and then working with both principals. If you open enroll to a school in Bloomington, you are responsible for your own transportation. But if you live in our attendance area in the green zone, you will get busing to Oak Grove Elementary. So why choose BPS? Well, hopefully you've already chosen us because you're here, but if you're still trying to figure out, well, what makes BPS special? Why? Well, at Bloomington Public Schools, we keep students at the center of everything we do. 9 of our schools are Blue Ribbon Schools of Excellence, and another 6 have received Minnesota School of Excellence designations. Our dedicated and talented teams of teachers, support staff, and school and district leaders consistently earn state and national recognition for outstanding achievements. I always talk about what makes Oak Grove great is the teachers and the people I put in front of your kids. They're pretty wonderful and they're pretty amazing at what they do. Pride in our diversity. Our mission is to help prepare all learners to thrive in a rapidly changing world. We strive to ensure the most safe and supportive school system possible for every student and to provide each student with equitable access to high quality and culturally relevant instruction, curriculum, support facilities, and educational resources. If you've ever been inside our building, it's a bright, beautiful building, right? I live in St. Paul and my kids go to St. Paul schools. I love St. Paul schools. Our building is beautiful and it's updated and modern. And so compared to some of the other, I think, actual physical schools around, Bloomington has done a really, really nice job modernizing and keeping them with the most updated HVAC, electrical, plumbing, wiring, internet, you name it. Our buildings are top notch. So we give your kid a great building. We give them great spaces to learn, and then we put great people in front of them. We have unique academic opportunities. We challenge and inspire all learners to achieve their highest potential with culturally relevant, rigorous academics, engaging experiences, and innovative programs. We're always at Oak Grove trying to say, what are we doing now and how can we do it better? And I'll talk a little bit about some of those programs later. Again, why choose BPS? Our students have access to innovative technology, tools that amplify their learning experiences. Under the guidance of teachers and school staff, students use these tool sets to solve problems in the community, demonstrate their learning, and seek out new knowledge. Our teachers have grown leaps and bounds in the last couple of years learning how to use technology, A, because they're interested in it, and B, because COVID has forced us to do that. And it's amazing the quality and the content that teachers are doing with using our technology. But we also know that technology is just a tool, and that it still comes down to the relationships and the personal touch that comes with a teacher and student interacting. And then strong community and parent support. We have a long history of strong community support for education, and our parents consistently give high marks on our academics, climate, safety, and communications in annual parent satisfaction surveys. So those are some of the reasons why we hope you are considering Bloomington Public Schools. I want to talk a little bit more about Oak Grove. We have an amazing, amazing kindergarten team. We have 3 teachers who have been doing kindergarten a long time at Oak Grove. We have Katie Sackerman, Midori Westcott, and Angie Benko. And so, oops, I'll get off. I'm stuck here. I'll introduce them later so I can keep going through our presentation. But They're amazing. They've been, like I said, oops, now I can show them. Sorry. They've been at Oak Grove a long time. So do you want to say hi and then your picture will show up?
Hi, I'm Angie Banco. Very excited for your child to come join us here at kindergarten.
Hi, I'm Midori. Oh, sorry, Katie.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm Midori Westcott, and yes, very excited. So excited for the incoming. This is usually my favorite night of the year to get to meet all the incoming kindergartners. So it's sad that we're doing it virtually, but it's so exciting to see everyone's faces.
I'm Katie Sackerman, and welcome all to this meeting. And I look forward to working with you and your kids in the fall.
Thank you. Thank you all. They really are amazing. I think the best way I can say it is I have 3 children myself, and I would gladly put them in any one of those classrooms and be thrilled to have them in that experience. And so I'm guessing if I let all those families who are Oak Grove families and have gone through kindergarten, they would say the same thing. So, oh, why is this not going? I'm not sure why. Sorry. Dun, dun, dun.
Would you like me to jump in and present?
Here, I think I got it. I'm not sure, Devin, why I'm not. Yeah, go ahead. We'll move forward with you doing it. Thank you, Devin. Let's shut the technical difficulties here. So our kindergarten paras, they are not with us tonight. But again, veterans of the kindergarten team, Abundia Mondragon, Noreen Anderson, and Annette Murphy are fantastic. It's such a luxury to have 2 adults in a classroom with the kids, and they get to develop some wonderful relationships with the students. And so they've just been great supports. We've had to flex them a little bit this year with how we're operating, but assuming we're all back to kind of more traditional school next year, you will hopefully see that same past practice where there's 2 adults in every kindergarten classroom, which is just a great support. Principal me, you get a new teacher every year, but maybe unfortunate or fortunate, I don't know how you look at it, you get me every year. And so I'm the principal at Oak Grove Elementary. Been there, I think this is now amazingly my 8th year. Love it. It is such a wonderful place to go into every single day. I have 3 children myself, Henry, Lucy, and Hazel, 4th grader, 1st grader, excuse me, and a 3-year-old. So love my kids, love my job, love the people I work for at Oak Grove. And that was a few years ago, one of our walkathon fundraisers. The kids met their goal, and so they got to tape me to the wall. It was all well and good until a couple of kids decided they wanted to tape my face and mouth, and then we had to kind of stop it. So, but we have fun, we work hard. We are not a perfect school. Right, there are things that we are always trying to get better at. There are things that we know that we can do better, and we try to do better, but we know that we work hard and we try to give everything we possibly can for your children. Again, our mission, we are a community working together to create a positive academic and social experience for all learners to soar, right? So your kids, especially if you're Oak Grove kids, they hear soar a lot. We talk about what does it mean to be successful? That's academically, non-academically, socially, emotionally. What is optimism, right? To do any of those things well, to be successful, you need optimism, you need hope. Accountability, we talk about with the students, it's for the students and the staff, that we are all responsible for our learning and being partners in that. And as well, parents, right? You have a role too in how you support your child to have success at Oak Grove. And then respect, right? Respect for who we are as people and individuals. We work really hard at Oak Grove to try to see the individual child and all the wonderful strengths and assets they bring to our school community. What does Oak Grove offer? First and foremost, exceptional teachers who work incredibly hard to know your child and do everything they can to meet your child's needs, right? I could sit here and tout all the things we have. Junior Achievement, which is a financial program for K-5 children. We have everything from, we've had Young Scholars in the past, which is fed into our gifted program. We have a great outdoor classroom and DNR certified forest that we're trying to get more and more involved in figuring out how to do outdoor learning, right? We've had projects that have ranged from having goats in our outdoor forest for a week, and that was a lot of fun, to school-wide field trips to the University of Minnesota to watch women's Gopher basketball. You name it, we've done it and tried it at Oak Grove, and we try to have as much fun as we can, yet at the same time recognize that our job is also create great, well-rounded students who have a love for learning. Who we are, over 440 students in a normal year. Things changed a little bit this year with BOSS and other things, but roughly between 400 and 450 students, 70 plus staff members. I consider us to be the most diverse school in Bloomington, because you think about any child that walks through a school door in our country, they're coming to Oak Grove, right? We have a wide range of socioeconomic status in our building. We have a wide range of racial, ethnic groups in our building. We have 20 plus languages spoken. We have our district's gifted program. We have our district's autism program. Again, I think that's the biggest selling point I have about what makes Oak Grove great, is that we welcome every child that society could present, and it's wonderful and it's amazing. And then we all come together and we figure out how to make it Oak Grove strong and wonderful. So it's a great place to be. We are a Title I building, which means 40% or more of our students are qualified for free and reduced, which provides additional financial support for our building. That helps keep our class sizes small. Pretty much all the money that we get, I put right back into staff to keep additional supports and class sizes at the best number I can put them at, because I feel that that's the best way to help all students at Oak Grove. We have a fantastic PTA. I see a couple proud PTA members in this group. Maria is our president. It's been a unique year where we try to be creative with how we do things. Here's a couple of examples of how great our PTA is. Over $25,000 in grant money has been secured by our PTA to help us at Oak Grove this year. Everything from social emotional kits to play kits for kids getting things like balls and games, and jump ropes and things, to buying sleds for recess, to we're just putting a purchase order in of $20,000 for social emotional things for our building. Everything from weighted blankets and play puppets to books on anxiety, to books on grief and sadness, to books on friendship, to noise canceling headphones, you name it. Our PTA is amazing at finding ways to get what families need into our building to be able to give back out to families. And so it's a wonderful, wonderful organization. It's small, but they do a tremendous amount. We have monthly meetings. This year, obviously virtual. Lots of volunteer opportunities. We have family fun nights. In a traditional year, we'll have family dinners. We actually had one tonight. I think tonight was Snuffy's Malt Shop, right? So families could just go and go to Snuffy's, get some food, and some of the money goes to us. We have game nights. We have movie nights where we show a movie in the gym. We've even done them at the middle school in their auditorium. We have a carnival every year, which is a huge, great celebration. We don't believe in using your kids to make a second party or a third party, money. And so what we do is we have a one fundraiser a year, a walkathon, where in a normal year, we will raise over $10,000 just by parents straight giving to Oak Grove. And 100% of that goes right back to kids and teachers. So our PTA, I think, has great values, and it's all about supporting teachers and supporting kids. So wonderful organization. Consider being a part of that as much or as little as you have the capacity to give. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about how we get ready for kindergarten and what kindergarten looks like. So first, kindergarten registration. So making sure you're in the right place at the right time. Children who will be 5 years old on or before September 1st may enroll in kindergarten for next year. Kindergarten registration is required before school, and the things that you need are an early childhood screening. So if you have not already gotten that, don't hesitate to reach out to me, and I can tell you exactly where to go. I think we might even have some people on this call that can help you. So if you want to stay on later, that's an essential piece that you need to have. You will to get your child ready for any school in the state of Minnesota. You need that early childhood screening. Complete the online registration by March 1st. So children who have participated in a BPS community education early childhood program. So the acronyms for that are ECFE or ECSE. Or if you've been in BPS preschool, so if you have been in, say, Teacher Jeff's class in our school, you do not need to complete another online registration. It's already there. There's a link there. Again, call the school, call us, and we can help you get enrolled. We're willing to do anything it takes to make sure that process is as easy as possible for families. Registration help is available in multiple languages. All right, we need those immunization records, right? So state law requires that you have what's mentioned here, and we have our nurse Shelley on board too. So actually this might be, well, I'll wait, there's another health part coming up. So you need to make sure you have all your immunizations that you need for school. Your pediatrician should know exactly what those are, but you can contact us and we're happy to help you if you have any questions. There are free immunizations available to those without health insurance at the Pond Health Commons. Pond is attached to Kennedy High School. So again, we can help you if you need help with this. You will need to provide a copy of your child's birth certificate and proof of Bloomington residency. Usually a utility bill is the best thing that a family can give us for that. And then schedule readiness assessments at your school. So we'll help you with that come the spring. Come the fall. So don't worry about that piece right now. But we'll help you with everything you need to enroll. If you're in any way confused or overwhelmed or need some support, we're here for you. Miss Donna, our secretary, is on this. She knows everything, every in and out about how to make sure you are set up and locked in to go to school. So, all right, Shelley, can I first introduce you and then I'll talk a little bit about the health office.
Hi, I am Shelley and I am the nurse at Oak Grove Elementary.
Bloomington has done an amazing job. They've done a thing that I think is not that common. We have Shelley, who is an RN in our building all day, every day. So every building in Bloomington is staffed with an RN. She is amazing. She has been our North Star this year in guiding us through all of COVID protocols and making sure the building and the students are safe and healthy. In normal years, she does the same thing with every health need. So Shelley will partner with your family to manage any health conditions such as asthma, seizures, diabetes, you name it. Shelley will help make sure we're doing right by your child and keeping them physically safe. Shelley can administer whatever meds are needed at school. She obviously is highly qualified in providing first aid if there's ever an emergency or an accident. She takes care of a lot of sick kids. Sometimes those even just a little positive smile with a sick tummy and they get back to class, right? So Shelley's great at that. She will perform hearing and vision screenings, especially if we have a concern and we want to kind of flag it and check it. She'll track immunizations and so much more. So it's a wonderful resource to have. She's always available for families Monday through Friday, 8 to 3:30 if you have any questions. Even if you're not yet an Oak Grove student and you have a medical question about what it might look like, Shelley is there to answer those questions. And those are two ways you can reach her. She's phenomenal. I agree, Katie. Any questions so far? I'm going through a lot. So don't hesitate to ask questions. Okay, we'll keep going. Again, how do you register? All right, so I said you need to register. Well, how do I do that? Visit in Bloom. All you have to do is go to Bloomington Public Schools. So you go to our website, and right there's a big button that says Enroll Now. And then you'll pick your neighborhood school. Again, if you're in our attendance area, you should pick Oak Grove. If you're a non-resident, you can visit the open enrollment page to register. Usually, as long as there's space, buildings can accommodate open enrollments. We get lots of open enrollments at Oak Grove, and so we always have to look at the numbers and see how they're going to balance out. But we are almost always able to accommodate open enroll families. Again, make sure you complete the early childhood screening. That is essential. Complete the meal benefits application or opt out. It's really important that you complete that because that can give your family financial assistance when it comes to meals. And also that actually brings in money to the school. So when I talk about us being a Title I school, we get a significant amount of money that helps us with our academic programming and other things based on meal benefits and who qualifies. So that's something we recommend. And make sure you submit your immunization record so we have that ready. Again, Donna, Shelley, and I, as secretary, nurse, and principal, are here with any questions you have over the next few months preparing for kindergarten. What can you do? So the Kindergarten Ready checklist. Families and caregivers can help children get ready for kindergarten by helping them practice these skills and milestones. Understanding letters, sounds, and numbers. So the more you can work with your child on recognizing their letters, recognizing that that the letter B makes a sound, and that sound is B, right? Identifying numbers and being able to count to 10. Be able to recognize colors and basic shapes. Have a positive attitude about school and kindergarten. We are very aware that school has been a wonderful experience for many families, but sometimes it's not been a great experience. And so we always say, at least give us a shot to try to give you a wonderful, positive experience coming into kindergarten and build that in your child, right? Because the right attitude can make a world of difference with a child coming into school. Practice writing letters and numbers. It is not expected that your kid is able to do all of these things with high levels of proficiency, but the more you start to prepare them in practice, the better that they'll be able to take those skills in kindergarten and really run with them. Practice writing their name. That's oftentimes one of the first things that we want kids to be able to write is their name. That's a sense of pride and ownership in who they are. Practice using bathroom independently with doors closed. Those little things, right? I spent 1 year as a classroom teacher in kindergarten. I should have said that. I've had multiple years in the classroom, but 1 year as a kindergarten teacher, and I'll tell you, I was exhausted in a wonderful, lovely, loving way. I was wiped out. And what I realized quite often or quite early was that if parents taught their kids how to put their jackets on, how to zip their jackets, how to tie their shoes, it made our kindergarten world go that much smoother. And so I do encourage you to make sure you practice those things, that your child does know how to independently go into a bathroom, do what they need to do and come out. Do they know how to put their boots on and change to their shoes? Do they know how to zip up and put their hat, gloves, and mittens on? Of course, our teachers and paras will help them. Of course, right? But the more they can do that independently, the better it is. Practice holding and using a scissors and some of those basic things like glue and scissors. And this last one, I think all our kindergarten teachers and myself, we're all parents as well with young children. Read to your child at least 15 minutes a day. Read to them, read with them. It can be comic books. It can be chapter books, like whatever interests your kid. Read to them and read with them. Picture books with even not a lot of words. It builds a love of learning that is going to be, and a love of reading that is going to carry through for their entire life. Dollar stores are really good resources for those little practice books that have letters, sounds, colors, pictures, shapes, and all that. It's a great way to kind of just have little fun books for your kids, and it's very low cost. First day of kindergarten. Those are some of the things you'll see. That's Mrs. Sackman's class last year, right? So pre-distancing and masks and all that. You'll see a lot of social interaction, a lot of conversation, a lot of very soft, welcoming experiences. That's our lunchroom this year, where we got the kids spaced out. That is the only time you will see a child without a mask at Oak Grove this year, is when they're eating their meal. But otherwise, the rest of their day, they're safe and they're masked. But what I love to see is that's the time we actually get to see them smile, because as hard as it is with those, the masks are essential, but we miss being able to see them smile. So. What do kindergartners learn in kindergarten? Chances are, parents, the stuff that we learned in kindergarten is like just the start of what kids learn now in kindergarten. It is amazing how much the expectations have progressed in kindergarten, yet some of the core goals stay the same. We really focus on literacy and reading, how to recognize letters and sounds and how to write them, how to recognize and produce rhyming words. How to identify the beginning, middle, and ending sounds of words, the 60 frequently used words, how to draw, write, and narrate a story, how to spell words, and how to ask and answer questions about a book. In math, we talk about how your student will learn how to read, write, and show numbers, how to create, complete, and extend patterns, and how to count forwards and backwards, and how to find one more or one less than a number. And in health, they'll learn how to identify healthy behaviors, listening skills, and others. No, parents, you might be hearing me talk, and you might say, my kid can already do a lot of those things. Excellent and wonderful. You don't need to skip kindergarten. There's so much more that they will learn in kindergarten. And what we do is we make sure that they really have those skills down to a proficient level, to where they can also take them to the next level of that skill. Because what happens in school is these foundational skills build into the next skill, right? So we have to make sure they have really deep understanding of how to do these things, so they can really take off in their reading. And what we have found in education is that kids kind of hit the ground running at different stages. So, right, some kids learn these skills early, 3, 4, 5. Others, 6, 7 years old. I'll give you an example. My son is a 4th grade student now, was at best an average kind of reading learner in kindergarten and 1st grade. And it wasn't until 2nd grade that he absolutely skyrocketed. It all kind of clicked and came together. And so parents, don't stress and don't worry about this. We will work together, and no matter how kind of what level or where they're at on this continuum of learning, we'll keep pushing them forward. What else will they learn? In social studies, they'll learn how to demonstrate civic skills in a classroom, identify examples of rules in the school community and explain why they exist, distinguish between individual needs and wants, and compare and contrast traditions in a family with those of other families. Science, they'll learn things like color, shape, size, and texture, weather and the seasons, and differentiating between living and non-living things, and observe and compare plants and animals. Speaking of science, we have a wonderful Science from Scientists program that starts in 4th and 5th grade, where we have scientists come in and actually teach our kids science. It's an amazing program. We actually have Oak Grove parents who are our Oak Grove parent who is the scientist teaching it. It's pretty awesome, but we start those skills young. And life skills. It's last, but I could easily make the argument, and classroom teachers would agree, that it's probably first, right, in kindergarten, that we're talking about how to use time, how to follow directions, how to show respect to the self, others, and peers, how to work collaboratively and cooperatively with each other, and how to work independently. Simply put, how to be little children together in school, in a community. That's, I think, probably the biggest thing we try to work on in kindergarten, is just being good people, and being good people with each other and around each other. Typical day in kindergarten, what does it look like? All kids at Oak Grove get a free breakfast. Kindergarten kids, usually we traditionally have them go after everyone else, so the whole 350 kids eat, and then our kindergartners go in. So they have breakfast, they have morning jobs and a morning meeting. That circle time I showed you earlier is a time when when kids can get together and have conversations about their day and what they're thinking and feeling. Calendar time, there's a lot of math incorporated into our calendar time. Reading groups, that's where we really work hard to differentiate at the level a kid is reading at and have that small group instruction. Literacy stations, where kids are going to go around to different stations and work in small groups and work on specific skills. There is a snack time. Probably different protocols this year compared to next year in a traditional year, but your kid will have a snack every day. Specialist, we offer gym, art, music, and if we need a fourth section, media. But primarily it will be gym, art, and music as your 3 specialists. They'll go to that for 50 minutes a day. Writer's workshop and phonics, obviously teaching them how to make words and sentences. Read alouds. It's amazing how much children love to be read to, and our teachers love reading to them. Lunch and recess. At Oak Grove, we give them a really long recess, 35-minute recess. Kids need to play. They need to be outside. They need to be moving. So I think that's probably the most in the district, honestly. So they get 35 minutes of recess, which is great, especially because if you've noticed little 6-year-old kids, they sometimes need a lot of time just to figure out what they're even going to do and play before they get going. So it's fun. If you give them a 35-minute recess, you need to give them a rest time. So we also, right, to calm their bodies and do some brain and body breaks, we do a recess and a little rest time in the afternoon. That's just a calm, quiet time. That's also a great time for the teacher to pull a kid and do some one-on-one kind of learning assessments. We also have math every day, and then science, social studies, and health are spread throughout the learning. Choice time. So some of the pictures you'll see, kids just getting the opportunity to play different games and activities and choose what they want to do and who they want to do it with. It's an essential piece of learning in kindergarten is play. And then simply put, we get them packed up and ready to go home. Other things you might need to know. Before and after school care is called Kids Safari. So we offer a program for all K-5 students, starts as early as 6:30 and slides right into our school day. And then also right at the end of our day, 3:20, and goes until 6 o'clock. So if you need before or after school care, it is an amazing program. Families absolutely love it. Contact Kurt Christensen, our YFC, with any questions. I don't know if Kurt's here tonight. I don't know, but he's great. Any questions, again, don't hesitate to ask me, but Kurt runs a wonderful program. Summer Safari. Your kid can start Summer Safari even before they start Bloomington Kindergarten. So if you want Summer Safari, with the dates are June 9th to August 20th, it's like a summer program. Registration starts March 15th. It fills up quick. Transportation, bus schedules will come out in August. Check the hub. The hub is our technology kind of parent portal. So that's your kind of one-stop shop to get a lot of the information about your student and some of their schedules and things. And so that information on the card is based on information supplied by parents. So that's just really, I think that might be an older piece there, but check the hub to make sure you know your bus schedule. Bus rides are hopefully short, but depending on where you're coming from, they usually you pick up sometime between 8:20 and 8:30, and then they get you to school between 8:40 and 8:50. Buses do not go into cul-de-sacs or dead-end streets, and the walking distance is 0.5 miles. So if you're beyond 0.5 miles from Oak Grove, you will get a bus to our school. And the bus stop is kind of considered a normal bus stop, which means they're not going to do a lot of requests to try to, hey, can you pick up right at the bottom of my driveway? They're going to try to organize the routes to where they're having as few of stops as possible. There's transportation's number. I can always help you, but oftentimes I'm going to end up having to direct you right to transportation because they run the buses. Kindergarten bus riders. We really encourage kinders to ride the bus the first day of school. It's okay if you bring them and you want to drop them off, take a picture at school. That's totally fine. But I would say as quickly as you can, get them into the normal habit and routine. It's a nervous thing. right? That's my son. The first day I ever sent a kid off to school, I was very nervous, right? But also very excited, very teary. It's a wonderful experience. So start getting your kid into that habit. Bus drivers are really, really sensitive to kinders. They'll put them right in the front of the bus, right in the seats behind the bus driver to make sure they feel comfortable and safe. At the end of the day, teachers, our kindergarten teachers and all teachers physically walk the kids down the bus lane to make sure your kindergartner gets exactly on the bus they're supposed to get on, and the kindergarten teacher will watch that happen. We have 5th grade patrols, not this year because of COVID, but in normal years, we have 5th grade patrols that also help monitor the buses. Classroom placement, how do we make our lists? We look at all the data we have on a kid coming in kindergarten. That's not as much as we have with other grades, and we try to balance between boy, girls, academic and social abilities, and just try to find a good balance. I give this little disclaimer, parents, but I don't want you to worry about it. We may make changes the first week of school, right? In my 8 years, I can't think of more than 1 or 2 changes that we've had to make the first year of school or the first week. But what we do with that is we always put that out there in case, say Mrs. Sacrament's class was supposed to have 20 and she shows up with 18 the first day of school, and Mrs. Benko's has all of a sudden 21 kids, 22. Well, we might try to move 1 or 2 kids to balance out a class. So again, that is a very rare thing, but I always want to let parents know that if any kind of changes need to happen, I will communicate and work with the parents to make sure it's an agreed upon decision. Class placement. I'm going to tell you a little inside secret. I will listen to kindergarten teacher requests. It's very hard for me to honor teacher requests in any other grade because of all the other factors, but I want to make your first experience a good one. And if you have an existing relationship with Mrs. Benko, Ms. Sackerman, or Ms. Westcott, let me know, and we might be able to place them in that classroom, okay? Again, once we start in first grade, we have so much more data and so many more factors on a child that we can't honor that. But kindergarten is a grade that we can try to accommodate.
There was a question about whether or not twins get separated in classes.
Parent choice. So in those situations, right, if it's a sibling or a cousin or something like that, we will often communicate with the parent, or the parent can just let us know, hey, I want them together. Hey, I want them separate. And we always say, you know them better than we do. And especially in kindergarten, we're going to go with what the parent says. Now, right, as in those situations, as like, family, cousins, twins, as they age, we might have conversations about what we might recommend, but especially starting early, parent choice. So what to expect here coming up in the summer and fall? Really, it will be quiet for a while. You might hear from me once in a while, but for the most part, you'll start getting information in mid-August, and that will be a parent letter that we will mail home to you with a lot of welcome back information. And then mid-August, again, transportation information will go out on the hub. And so if you're having a hard time with hub, just contact the school and we'll help you get the information. Assessment day, right? We will likely do an assessment day again here in the fall with a 30-minute one-on-one with your teacher. So again, right now you don't get to meet your teacher and have that experience. You will before school starts, and it will be a 30-minute kind of meet and greet conference / assessment. And so that's where you kind of get to see the teacher, bring your kid in. That's a great way to start the learning and gives the teacher information before the school year even begins. We will host a 1-hour orientation for kindergartners and the parents right before school starts. So I will give you those dates well in advance, and that's a time all the families and kids get to come into the classroom, and Ms. Benko, Ms. Sackerman, and Ms. Westcott will walk through an entire presentation about the ABCs of kindergarten. The first day of school will be Wednesday, September 8th this year. So yeah, that's kind of what to expect coming up. We really look forward to having you join our Oak Grove community. I left that picture in because actually that's a few years old, but I love it because now I get to see those kids as older kids, and it reminds me of what we do. It reminds me how we get them as such little kids, and we get to watch them grow. So I always keep that one because that inspires me. So at this time, I see a question. So Tracy, let me quick read that question. and then I'm going to introduce some other Oak Grove staff that are with me. We have an incoming kinder with an older sibling in the Elements program, but Oak Grove is not a neighborhood school. Contact the homeschool, Tracy, and then that homeschool principal will contact me and we will approve it because we do not split up families. So that's an example, right? We have an autism program and a gifted program. If your child is in one of those programs and they have a sibling, that sibling will get to come to Oak Grove too. So Tracy, you can just email me or the homeschool principal. We'll make it happen. So I want to introduce, let's see, who was on this. I didn't. Ms. Kolwitz, are you still on there?
I am.
You want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jennifer Kolitz. I am an early childhood special education teacher that works at Oak Grove. I'm in the preschool classroom with Mr. Jeff, but if you have developmental concerns at all about your child, I am certainly happy to talk with you about that and what it looks like to get them the support that they need. There's a fabulous special education team that works at Oak Grove who are able to adapt and support your kiddos wherever they are at. So if that's something you're worried about, feel free to reach out to me.
And Jennifer's also a parent, a former parent of 2 kids that went through Oak Grove. So
yes, great. Cool. Highly recommend.
There you go. Thank you. You'll get your paycheck again this week. So
we had another question come in asking if you anticipate a higher number of kindergartners coming into the fall due to parents delaying kids starting because of COVID.
Amazingly good question. We, like our attendance, our projections this year, we're like, we don't know, because we don't know candidly, right? Public schools, public schools all over the state, really all over the country, lost kids to private schools that were opening that, had full day in-person learning. So Bloomington lost some students to other schools. Boss, our online school, took some students, and so because that's such a new program, we don't know how many students, families will choose the online option to start their kid in kindergarten. We don't know how many families will return to us. And we don't know how many families we have some ideas of how many families kind of delayed kindergarten and coming in. So I will say this, right now, our kindergarten numbers look a little bit lower than they usually do, but I'm okay with that because I'm projecting that it will continue to grow, but it won't grow to a level where I'm like, now we're growing too big to outgrow us. So I am fully expecting that we will have 3 kindergarten classrooms next year with some really nice class sizes. And when I say really nice, hopefully in the 18 to 22 range is I think what we kind of ideally like in kindergarten. But this is, I think, the toughest year I've ever seen in education to try to project what our enrollment looks like for next year. I'm sorry, and I'm trying to look too at staff that are on here. Miss Donna, are you on here? Do you want to at least just say hi? Oh, she might be a little nervous there. Donna, for those of you who know Oak Grove, literally any question you have about Oak Grove and what's going on, she knows it and she knows where to lead you. So are there any other Oak Grove staff or Bloomington staff that I need to, or that I should introduce to families here before I open it up to any questions?
If I can just jump in, I'm Joy Baumgartner from Early Childhood Screening, and I just want to remind families to please get your screening completed. I'll put in the chat, I'll put our phone number and our email if you want to reach us directly. And just a reminder, if you have kids, we start screening kids at 3, so if you have younger siblings, you can schedule those siblings as well. So, thank you.
Thank you, Joy. Katie called you out. Kurt, you're on here. You want to say hi?
Sure. Hello. Where am I? Hey. How's everyone doing? I'm Kurt.
There you go.
I am with Kid Safari. Not much of a talker on these things.
It's a fantastic program. I actually highly recommend it. It's a great soft entry or exit in and out of the building. They have a ton of fun. The only thing I hold against him is he's a Packer fan, but he's grieving a little bit right now, so I won't give him too much of a hard time.
Hey, Mr. Klein, I think JP put her up to that. I'm getting text from JP right now.
There you go. There you go. So,
nice meeting you.
There you go. Well, at this point, families, thanks. This was a ton of me talking to you, which is never ideal. But it's just there's a lot of information. I want to get it to you. I don't expect you to understand it all and remember it all, right? So we'll put this video on the website. We'll put as much information as we can out there, but just don't hesitate to call, right? To call, email, and I'll make sure I answer every question you have to make sure you feel comfortable and ready about starting your kid in kindergarten. And again, the number one thing I could say is those 3 kindergarten teachers in front of you are phenomenal, and they will do right by your kid. What questions do you have? Anything for the group?
Hey there. My son Jack was going to start last year and we held off for the year. And so that would be a case where we had submitted everything for registration already. And I'm wondering if you have an idea off the top of your head, what things need to be resubmitted, or if we're pretty much good and just go into the hub and just, yes, we're coming.
Would you go ahead and email me that just simply say exactly what you just said, and then I'll make sure that I check in with Donna to make sure that we are completely enrolled and ready to go. And yeah, I saw another question too about a family of, well, I got a sibling there, but I'm supposed to be at another school. You have any of those questions, just come right to me. I'll put my email in the chat and I will make sure you are all set to go. So
Awesome. Thank you so much.
yep, no problem.
Valerie, you had a question?
Yeah, sorry, I was just gonna ask, I was the one who asked about the twins too, but we did their like early childhood screening thing like last, I don't know, spring or fall, or I don't even remember when it was. Actually, it might have been like the middle of last year. But like, does the district already have all that information if we did it in Bloomington, or do I need to like get something to send in or something?
Nope. Yeah, and I see heads shaking too from our early child people. If you've done it in Bloomington, we have it. Like, we communicate with each other, and Donna knows where to grab things and where to get it. If you've done your early childhood screening outside of Bloomington, you just make sure then that you get that to us, or you let us know where you got that, and we can help work to figure that out. But if you did it in our system, we should be effectively communicating to make sure we all got it. Any other questions? Kindergarten, oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, when we close this meet, all of the links that are in the chat box will not be saved anywhere for you. So if you'd like to click on any of them and open them up now, or copy and paste Mr. Klein's email address or write it down, now would be a good time to do that.
Other little things you can do to get your kid ready for kindergarten: take them to our playground, right? Not on a school day, but right on a weekend or something. Just start to get them familiar with the school, drive them up, walk around. Like I said, we'll have them into the building before school starts, and you'll know all those little things about supplies and everything. And so don't worry about those, but just start to get them familiar with that and comfortable with it. I think those are important things. Finding little books out there about getting ready for kindergarten. There's a lot of books you can find about the first day of school and things like that. If you have older children that have already gone through school, take the time to have them explain to the kid what school is like, and honor their feelings. Honor their feelings that they're going to be excited and nervous at the same time. Honor your own feelings as a parent that you'll be excited and nervous at the same time, because we are excited and nervous when we open our doors on the first day of school. So it's a normal experience to have a wide range of feelings. And know too that if things are going well, make sure you tell the teachers they're going well. And if you have a concern, make sure that the teachers know that too, because sometimes we don't know that there's a concern if you don't tell us, and then we're always going to be responsive and work with you as the family to make sure your kid and you are having a good experience. So, well, thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, Brian, I just want to tell you Oak Grove is great. I want to tell all the parents, come to Oak Grove. My other 2 kids have exited, and now I have a little one coming through. So we have another 5 years working together. This is Sadio.
I know Sadio. Oh, I'm going to say your son's name if that's okay. I love Zaki.
Yeah.
Zaki and I went through a long road together, and where he has come, is pretty remarkable, right?
Yeah, now you have Zakir, so we
Okay.
have a little one, so another 5 years we go. Yep.
And Zakia already went through us, and now she's what, in 8th grade?
High school. Imagine
my
that.
God.
Yep.
It's amazing.
So
So, well, thank you. And again, I appreciate you being here tonight, and sorry that you had to sit and listen for an hour, but thank you. And no, again, we're here for you. So whatever you need from us, call us and we'll give you the answers you need. So I appreciate all of you taking the time to do that, and have a wonderful, wonderful night. Hi, kids.
Bye.
Kids. Read books and go to bed.
Bye. Bye, Strub family.
Bye, Mrs. Banko. Love you guys.
See you at school tomorrow, Simon.